Cross Politic begins in 3, 2, 1.
I have a heart that breaks for a dying city.
Stop cursing your future.
Is not true.
For all intents and purposes, I am a woman.
No government, no political system has ultimate supremacy. Jesus is King of Kings, and it's about time our nation returned in humble submission to his lordship.
You are not protecting women. You are authorizing the destruction of 500,000 little women every year.
I didn't start it. But, sir, with all due respect, that's the argument of a 5-year-old.
I didn't start it.
Right, when the Spirit comes upon people, they go to war. They go to battle, and the enemies of God are driven back, and they're slaughtered.
You are listening to Cross Politic with Gabe Wrench, the Water Boy, Pastor Toby Sumter, and the Chocolate Knox.
Hey, man, welcome to Cross Politic, man. I'm so glad I got my buddy from Australia here. Thank you guys for joining us. I got comedian Ben Price with me. Chris Wineland.
What was that?
Chris
What was that?
That was my Australian accent.
Are you done? Are you done?
I thought that was Ben.
No,
that's just a button.
Oh, you thought I was Ben?
No,
literally
no,
now?
No, that was Jamaican.
It was Jamaican, man.
That was my Jamaican.
No,
that was,
definitely Jamaican.
That was actually his Australian accent.
Yeah, but he has to do it that way.
No. So
why are you giving him so much grace?
All my accents come out Jamaican. That's what. Yeah. Australian, Russian, Mexican.
Irish.
I got a great, Como está, amigo man? You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Come on, stop.
I think he just offended every race in that comment. That was the bomb of racial comments.
So let me bring a little bit of order to this chaos. We have Ben Price with us in the studio. Welcome, Ben.
Hey,
Thank
Ben.
you.
From Australia, from the land down under.
Yeah,
man.
As they say.
As they say.
Chris
down under,
Wineland.
Yes.
Did I say your?
No, you said it right.
Okay.
Well,
Wine and land.
Yeah.
Wineland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to pronounce it Wineland, but we don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce it.
So we just
who's this we? Like your family? Like
it's like my family. We don't know anybody else aside from us Winelands.
You've never met another Wineland?
No.
Really?
No, not really. We met a Wineland.
That's close.
What does that have to do?
No, it was the same spelling. But they
like,
call themselves
we've met
the
a
Winelands.
Bob
Yeah,
before.
Exactly. That's what it was.
That's hilarious.
So maybe it was the exact same spelling?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they
No, that's what I'm saying. So I think that.
So you were related?
Yeah, I think at
Somewhere.
one time, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, we're all related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys,
Wineland sounds good.
Wineland, yeah.
It sounds like a theme park. Wineland.
Oh, yeah. Wineland, yeah.
When walking in a Wineland.
It's not, though. They lived in a trailer park, so it was close to a park.
Everybody got a little nervous about those jokes.
It's coming. So before we kind of really get into it, we're already getting into it. Before we really get into it, first,
Where are we getting into it?
One of our club listeners sent us a bottle of wild turkey. This is kind of like special edition high rye aged longer wild turkey.
You know what? I think when
Thank you.
when you go to thank you very much.
Yeah.
When you go to Cross Politic and there's a little tab that says join. You click on that and then you can join and you can give a donation.
Yeah.
A monthly donation. I think one of the options
you can't call donation.
Because
we're LLC.
Okay, so it's not a donation. You're not donating anything.
No.
You're paying for services.
Yeah, that you freely give. We're not like the government where we just take it from you. Said you gave it to us.
Could we make? Can we make one of those options? Like Scotch.
We should
one of those
send us a bottle of Scotch
101
for club membership.
Wild turkey.
Yes,
and
Belvini, Doctor Belvini. I like that. I like that idea.
Box of cigars. I don't know.
You guys are doing good. I'm gonna let you keep going.
I think maybe that should be one of the options. But yeah, thank you very much for thinking.
We should call it the Love Your Neighbor button.
The Love Your Neighbor button. Just fill in the blank.
Love your Cross Politic host button.
Yeah, one that says other that they can check.
Yeah. So speaking of which, if you're not a Cross Politic member,
sign up,
please.
Please.
We love you, but
we got guys like Ben Price and Chris Wineland coming
in the studio.
I know. In the studio.
What more can you do?
Yeah.
I know.
This is
club
it.
member?
I mean, you guys are peaking at this point,
This is it. So that's why we got to sell the club membership hard on this show.
Oh,
right.
We're going to spend the next 2 segments selling the club membership. No. So we got a couple comedians in the show, and we're gonna have.
So you know what that means, right?
We're gonna do 20 questions with some comedians.
We are.
Yeah,
and us.
So. Yeah.
Oh, well, I know that you guys, since you guys like write jokes for a living and do stand up for a living, I know what you love most of all when you come on a radio show, which is, you know what I want to do right now? I want to laugh. So you know what you get to do?
Man.
make me laugh. Right now, go.
This is David's best at making everything awkward. This is
I just know how much comedians love this.
Yeah. The pressure.
I know. Don't buckle. I got one.
But here's the thing. I'm a
give me a topic between him and I. We got any topic.
Coffee.
I'm sure we can.
What?
Coffee. All right, you're Kanye West and you're Donald Trump.
Ooh,
go.
It's fantastic. Kanye is my BFF. He's my homie. He's fantastic. I give him dragon energy. Did you see that? I tweeted about that.
Yes.
Dragon energy.
Yes.
It's like V or something like that, or one of those energy drinks. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Wow. That's really good. Isn't that good, Chris?
Yeah, I am not Kanye in any way.
Yo, what's up, my brother? I like Donald Trump, bro. Yeah. Hey, man.
I can do the one everybody can do, which is Christopher Walken walking around saying how you doing? It's the only one I can do.
That's it.
Sounds good to have a walking off.
Oh.
We can go walking down the street of Moscow.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking coffee.
Walking down Moscow. You were so much better than me.
It's good.
I just heard you do it, and I was like, oh, I should never do this.
I like it. I used to combine voices, like Christopher Walken and Homer Simpson.
Oh, wow.
So I'd have Homer Simpson like this, and then I would be like, excuse me, hello, Marge.
Christopher Homer Walken here. I don't know if it was funny or not, but it was just fun to do.
Wow.
The fact that you have that going on in your head
It's
scares
crazy.
me.
Yeah.
That's
People are like trying to get me to combine
what are you
Donald
thinking?
Trump and Arnie.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking.
It's like Donald Trump and Homer Simpson. Now. In my head. Go.
Go. I can't do it.
Donald's too strong. It overrides.
It overrides even Homer.
But there's some that go really
He's
well
got
together.
so much dragon
I used to
energy,
do
it
Kermit the
overrides.
Frog and Obama.
Okay.
So they're like, we're bringing change to the American people. And there's change we can't believe in. And
That's so
are
good.
we going to fix the country? Yes, we can.
That's racist.
That's really good.
That's real racist.
Against frogs. Green lives matter, man.
No frog deserves to be treated like that.
Exactly.
You know what they have to go through in this world, being dissected. It's high schools and stuff. They've never had a good life, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Green lives matter.
I'll tell you why comedians hate that. Because I had somebody ask me that one time. Tell me a joke. And I was like, no. I just kind of say no and just stare at him for a while.
That's hilarious.
I think it's more fun.
That's good. That's
You
a
just say
good
no
one.
and just stare. And then you go, you tell me a joke first and see what they say. But the reason is because it immediately puts the ball in your court. So if you say, tell me a joke, then that means that you're like a judge, like American Idol judge or something. Yeah. And or a Got Talent judge or something.
And you don't like to be judged.
Well, I haven't been on any of those shows yet, so I don't know.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna ask you for notes and stuff. Maybe the first thing I should do is start telling jokes.
Did
when
you
people
really?
ask me.
Wow, they asked me. They kept
this,
bringing me.
This is Australia's Got Talent.
It was.
When did you do this?
2011.
Yeah.
I'm not good at maths, so
yeah.
work that out.
Yeah. But you said you got roped into it.
Well, not literally, but they rang me several times.
Oh, so they wanted you to come.
So, are you going to come on?
Oh.
I said, oh, not really.
Why did you not want to?
No, at that stage it wasn't really. It was more like wannabes. People, Now it's actually cool to go on. It doesn't matter if you're super famous. You can go on.
Did you make it cool?
You made it cool.
I made it cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually made it cool.
I see that.
But they said, you could win $250,000. I said, I'll think about it. So,
That's an option.
But there was a part of me that went, yeah, I think this would be good. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do it, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not calling me, so
that's true.
They called you. They didn't call me yet. We'll see.
Even so, I mean, if you already have a career going, one of those things is that they're using you as a way for them to make money, and they're offering you exposure in one sense. Was it worth
It's
it?
helping
though?
them. Oh yeah.
Really?
But I was worried that I was going to get buzzed out, or
Oh right.
You got that.
Yeah,
you always got the bad judge.
That looks bad.
No, well, because as a comedian, I think that would be the fear. Because then they would just say, "Oh, you're not funny," and
That's
then
right.
now good luck
and
getting
it could be
bookings
just
after
that one gig. You're only as funny as your last gig. So I was just like, what if something goes wrong? Your whole career's finished.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had that thought just before I went on stage. I thought, what if it all goes pear-shaped? I went, no, go out there and do it. And then for the first 5 seconds, I'm setting up the joke, and there was no laughter. I'm like, and then I bring out Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there was like, in this reality cooking show, cutting up onions, and I'm crying like a girly man, and this crowd laughing, and I'm like, okay, good. We've got it from here. Yeah, it was awesome.
So learn a good Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So that way, when you get in trouble,
Well,
you
but
can
even
pull it
that's
out.
a risk because every comedian can do
Learn
Arnold
a good
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
If
I'll
you've
put
got
that
to
in
have
my
a
pocket.
Schwarzenegger, you got to have a Walken, and
All I have is the walking.
you've got to have a Sean Connery as well. Yes.
Oh yeah, Sean Connery.
Yes, you've got to get the deep voice and the and the
Oh, do
suave.
Tupac.
You know, the
Tupac.
Sean Connery, hey, man.
Why do you guys laugh at that? That's not funny. It's not. You're not helping him. He's a sick man. Okay, he's a sick man. He needs help. He's from Texas,
feed
people.
me.
Okay, and he thinks all his stuff is funny and in Jamaican.
It makes Knox so mad.
Have you been to Jamaica?
No, man.
I was in Jamaica on the OM ship. You know OM?
Oh,
They're
it's
a Christian
yep,
organization,
yep.
Operation Mobilization.
Yeah.
We're on their ships, and the customs officer came in. This is a true story. He's like, looked at me and goes, "Does you have any pistols in your bag, man?" I went, "No,
No,
He said,
not at
it's
all.
fine. You can go, man.
For real, that's all he
For
asked.
real,
That's
for
the
real.
custom.
Respect, man. That's what they like."
He didn't ask you about the knives that you had in the bag.
No, he didn't
though.
ask me about that.
So you can bring knives in Jamaica.
You
and
can
be
bring
fine.
anything. You just all you have to do is say no.
No, man.
No,
man.
no, man.
No, man.
No, man.
Everything gonna be all right, man.
So one of the things that I think about comedians most of all is that you guys pay attention because if you have to write jokes. I consider you guys to be some of the deepest thinkers because you have to pay attention to American culture, not just American culture, but all of culture, humanity, how societies work and how they function, and then you see kind of the quirk or the thing that's screwy in the system, and you're like, that is hilarious, and no one is paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things that you guys observe about culture, society that you like, I can't really say this on stage, but because it's not funny, but it is hilarious that no one even sees these things. Because God's given comedians a gift to be able to see beyond, I think, some of the normal day-to-day things that we go through and be able to pull out something and you're like, oh my goodness, I so do that. And it's hilarious. So what are some of those things that you guys notice about society that's hilarious, but wouldn't work as a joke?
Yeah. I had been working to try to make this one bit a joke for 4 years. And I do it up on stage and people don't. I think they think that I'm trying to be offensive, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But if you ever go, when you go park places, you see the handicap spots.
Yeah.
So I'm always blown away by the handicap drawings because nobody looks like that. Like it's just a white dot, no neck.
Yeah, we haven't.
And then just a line.
Our bathroom steps have grown, right?
Half of a tire. It's not even the real tire. And it's like, that's insulting to anybody that parks there. Like, nobody's going to get there and walk out and be like, wow, he looks just like him. Yeah. That's never going to happen.
You got some sort of paraplegic with no neck.
No
and can't get wheeled anywhere because only half a wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
But they get there quick. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Those signs have never matured past that, have they? They've
Never.
been that way.
No.
Our
Nobody's
bathroom
ever
signs have turned into men and women, and our handicap signs are still...
Or Bruce Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah,
exactly. They're more detailed. They have faces, but not handicap signs.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
There you go.
I find it funny when things stuff up. I don't talk about this on stage, but just when I watch things and little stuff ups happen.
What do you mean stuff up? So we're in America.
Oh, okay. I probably offended half your listeners.
I'm wondering if I have to beep out the words.
Yeah. When things go wrong.
Okay.
On stage where a microphone drops or that kind of thing. And, it's just
right.
where a pastor says the wrong thing or, these kind of things amuse me. They amuse me. They find them hilarious just to see. But you can't talk about that on stage. Not because it's offensive. It's just that tickles my funny bone, I suppose.
That's interesting. It's somebody messing up and doing wrong. I guess that's like Looney Tunes, though, right? Like if you see Looney Tunes,
it's just people like falling down.
That's
it. Yeah, fails exactly. Well, it kind of makes everybody laugh.
We have those.
But how do you
on
translate that on stage?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can. Yeah.
I find myself there is this like inextricable draw to those YouTube videos of people just falling down.
Oh man,
like biffing it bad. Just falling off things, falling down. And I'm just like, no. And you can't stop looking at
That's
it. That's
funny.
And then I start laughing, and then it's over.
That hurts.
You know what's even better than that? And I'll find myself spending hours watching people run into windows. It's the best. Go on YouTube, type it in. Because it's like, I get when birds hit windows, they didn't create it.
They can't see glass.
But humans, we created windows. We know that they exist. And yet we run into them all the time. And it's the best.
Yeah, it's good.
What's wrong with you?
What?
Are you a comedian or something?
I love when people run into windows.
Yes.
That's just mean.
Because they're so confident that they're going. And then they don't. And it's just great to watch.
So you like seeing Pride like run into like
Yes.
As long as
Pride
they're
comes
okay.
before a window.
As long as they're okay.
As long as they're okay afterwards. Yeah. Then you can laugh about it.
Yeah. Oh man.
So Chris, how did you get into comedy?
It was my mom for sure.
What makes a mom encourage their son? You know what? You should go up on stage.
Yeah,
and say jokes.
You should go into comedy.
Yeah,
I don't
you should
know.
go into comedy.
You did something very bad. She wanted people to laugh at you.
Yeah, she knew I wasn't going to do anything else. She knew I wasn't good at anything. So she's like, maybe No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
She always thought it was funny. So she always said you should do comedy. And so she begged me that when I was on 18, when I turned 18, she said you got to go to a comedy club just once, just to try it. So I went up. It was my 18th birthday, and she got me a DVD of Christian comedians that I didn't think that were that funny. And
watch it.
No, I'm not going to say who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Yeah.
Well, it was just like some album that I think a couple guys just worked together to make or something. And so she got it for me, and it's like, I was all puffed up at the time, so I was like, oh, I could be better than that,
Yeah.
And so I got up, and they're actually really great now, but I think it was just at the moment. So I went to a club the next day, and I did 5 minutes. I got a laugh from somebody that wasn't my mom. And I was like, I'm hooked. This is what I want to do forever.
I got one laugh. That's
one
all
laugh.
it took. I was like, Jesus, we taking this wheel now.
That's right. And I loved it. Ever since I've been doing it, it's been, it'll be 10 years in July. So, I love it. Get my first decade under my belt, and then excited for another few decades.
Right.
You've been doing it for a while.
And Ben,
Yeah.
how about you?
Oh,
man?
it doesn't make me good. Yeah. I've been walking since I was 1, but it doesn't make me an expert. Yeah.
Well, I know I'm not an expert either.
Yeah.
It's like the more you do
I'm
it, the more you realize.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Yeah. Takes a while. But, what was the question?
Oh, I was just wondering how long you've been doing it. I love asking other comics.
No, the question for me, so I asked Chris,
question, how long?
How did you get into comedy?
I've been doing it since, technically, the first gig was when I was 18. So what's
Paid gig.
What's that? About 10 years for me, too. Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's
Your first paid gig was at 18?
I got $10. I was at a church.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, that's
counts.
hilarious,
That
by the
counts.
way. A church paid me to do comedy. $10.
I wasn't expecting it. That was
a tithe
that was
from
why I
100.
was so excited. They gave me an envelope and said, "What's this?" $10.
Yeah. We didn't, and they're like,
wasn't even that funny.
they're like, we didn't pay our last comedian.
Now if I get
That
$10,
should say
it's
something.
like $10. It's the same reaction.
What do you mean? You're still paying me.
Yeah.
You really like me. So, and now you spend a lot of your time in Australia, doing a lot of your comedy in Australia.
Well, that's where I live. So
right.
most of my time,
And you do a lot of corporate events. I mean, kind of what?
Yeah, a lot of corporate gigs and churches and school. I went to a school recently, did some comedy workshops, teaching kids how to be funny. That was that was fun.
Yeah.
You can do that.
What ages?
Well, apparently I can do it.
Can you teach me?
Can you give
David
Gabe a lesson?
Probably.
I can teach you guys something, how to speak. Like, you can speak Jamaican, but I can teach you how to speak Australian.
Okay.
Because most Americans, they try to speak Australian, they end up sounding really British, and they say, "Hey, g'day, mate," and it's like that doesn't work.
Yep.
Can you do Australian voice?
Those are different. Australia and Britain.
We're a little bit different.
Beer can.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. Maybe that's why I mix them up.
So, sorry, he's the racist guy on the show.
Ben doesn't know how to handle this one.
Ben's looking at me like, y'all gonna edit that part out. That's pretty racist right there.
He thinks all white people sound the same.
They don't.
That's good.
All right, fine.
Teach us.
So you got to say
Australian.
To speak Australian, say the word rise.
Rise.
Up.
Rise up.
Lights.
Rise up lights.
So and then you've just said razor blades in Australian.
Rise up lights.
Yeah, so that's how you speak Australian.
Rise up lights.
Razor blades.
Or
so I can just say it, but you got to say rise up lights, and then it ends up saying.
If you say, I also heard of like if you say you want to say bacon, you say beer can.
Oh,
right,
beer can.
Give me some beer can.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Is that
British or Australian?
It didn't sound the way I wanted to sound.
I don't know if that's true. Yeah.
Is he speaking British or Australian?
Maybe it's the other way around.
Maybe
you want to say beer can.
They didn't say bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon is beer can.
Maybe something like that. I don't know.
He's going to come back to Jamaican before
No, it
we're
sounds
all done.
Irish.
I'm also dyslexic, so that could have been, just
and he's got one ear, so hearing the tonation.
He's got one ear.
Only one.
It's like all of a sudden the jokes start flying in his head.
I mean, that's why I thought it was really loud in the car on the way here. I had to keep sort of saying, hey, I don't know if you can hear.
I'm disabled. Laugh at my pain. Laugh at my pain.
That's why
you should be doing comedy.
That's
then.
why
You
we
should
have
be
a
doing
special we have a special parking place for him.
People do use their disabilities for the comedy.
Yeah.
Because I met a guy's true story at a show recently, and he came up to me and he goes, "Hello, Ben, how are you? Hey, it was a good show." And he was talking like this. And I said, "You're doing a voice." And he goes, "No, I had an operation, and that's how." And he said, "I would love to do stand-up comedy, but my voice." And I said, "No, you should use it."
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what to do. This really happened.
You could have come off like a bigot real quick on that.
I come off like a bigot all the time.
You start talking about, "Dude, your voice is amazing.
What's wrong with your voice? What's wrong with you?
Voice.
You're a bigot, Ben."
Yeah. I don't have any of that stuff. I can't do accents or any impressions, and nothing's wrong with me. And it's like, it's cool.
Nothing's wrong with you. Except you.
No, okay, that sounded really conceited. I don't mean that.
Wow.
No,
I need help.
Chris,
I need help.
You are awesome.
Chris starts smoking cigars. I gotta get a voice. All right. Well, when we come back, more with Ben Price and Chris
Wineland.
That can go
What's
bad.
the other name?
That can
though?
go bad real quick. Wineland.
No. What's the other? Family?
Wineland.
Wineland. I like that one better, so I'm gonna say it like that.
Oh no.
More with the comedians and the science of comedy when we come back on Cross Politic. You guys still didn't make me really like belly laugh.
No.
I belly laugh.
I made you laugh.
I'm saving my best material.
At Logos Online School, we believe learning should be accessible. Homeschooling shouldn't stop you from staying connected. Enjoy classmates from across the United States and the whole world, coming at you 4 days a week and 32 weeks a year. We believe learning should be engaging, a group of like-minded students who love God and their classmates. Learning should also be customized, with more than 50 different classes offered throughout the day. Take one class or join us full-time. We believe learning should be inspired. Our knowledgeable instructors enthusiastically engage the students. The goal? Hearts that love learning. Lastly, learning should be affordable. Committed to making Christian education reasonable for all families. From $620 per class for an entire year to $2,232 per year for full-time students. The best option on the market. Join us at Logos Online School.
Welcome back to Cross Politic.
I'm still waiting for my belly laugh.
Special show with Ben Price, Chris Wineland, and they're here in town doing a stand-up show with us, which we're really grateful for. And what we're trying to do right now, though, is get them to make us laugh.
That was really staged, Gabe.
And really, what we need to do is we're trying to get Chalk to laugh.
I want to laugh.
I mean, I laugh kind of easily, and Gabe laughs at everything.
It's true.
And David's hard. He's hard. So guys, you need to get David to laugh.
David, what's your humor, man?
I like all kinds of funny.
I think you should start off telling us a joke.
Yeah.
All right, David, you go.
Tell us a joke.
Yep.
Make us laugh.
What's black and surrounded by a whole bunch of white people?
Cross Politic.
This guy.
I like that. Cross Politics. I like Cross Politics. That was
That's
good.
pretty much the answer.
I didn't like that.
That's a T-shirt.
Hey, we gotta get these guys T-shirts, by the way.
We do.
Before they leave.
I'll take that.
Extra
yeah.
meeting.
That's good.
So,
That was all right.
I don't do this for a living.
I mean, the problem is that was still kind of racist. But
all my jokes are racist.
Yeah, they all are.
He was just
in there.
So Chris was just reaching for the coffee just now.
Yep.
And I said, "This is what it's like to be black."
Yep.
Always reach for something and never get it. You know what I mean? And so I just let him
But
reach
he's
for
white, so he got it.
it. Yeah. No.
But he didn't get me the cream.
Well, here we only drink racist coffee. It's all black. We don't mix it up. But notice what happened. It was the white guy who pushed it to him to help him get it.
Because they're always helping each other out.
You know what I'm saying?
No, the white people are always looking benevolent. That's what you're saying.
To each other.
Oh,
can I get you something, David?
Huh? Yeah, you can.
We got to get him some belly laughs.
But first, gotta get 40 acres and a mule, though. You know what I'm saying?
They don't understand.
I'm just laughing to be polite.
He's like, I don't get it. What happened in America?
Yeah.
So let's start back a couple hundred years ago.
History lesson.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Can I tell you a joke that I don't tell on stage?
It depends on how
It
clean
depends.
Kids are watching.
Yeah.
We can edit, right?
We got 13-year-olds.
Yeah, can you edit it out?
I can beep it. Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's just.
Is it adult?
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's whatever.
Is it the one that you tried to tell me?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Come on.
Then he can
No,
tell
I
that.
don't
He can
tell
say
that
He
one.
can say that one because that one was pretty.
I can say that one?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, hey,
No.
just do it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Let's see if you laugh at this one.
All
This is
right.
a joke I used to do on stage at clubs. Here we go. So this is where I stare at the audience for a second. I really wanted to know more about my family, so I wanted to log on to Ancestry.com, but I accidentally spelled it as Incestry.com. Turns out I learned a lot more about my family on that site than the previous one.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, that trailer park comment starts to come back into play.
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
Maybe it's not Wineland, bro.
Maybe it's not. Oh, boy.
Okay, that was good.
Wineland.
Yeah, but I kind of fixed that one for you, though. I kind of brought that one back out and turned it back around and tied it to the end of the beginning of the last joke.
Well, but that's
taking credit for
called a
your joke.
callback, which I didn't do.
Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. One of the
Okay.
things that, when some of the greatest comedians, you guys know more than I do, but one of the guys I really love is Dave Chappelle. I think the dude is hilarious when it comes to writing. But when I listen to him, I feel like he's got me figured out before he ever starts. You know, and I realize that it's not even about comedy at this point. He knows people.
Yes.
You know, and I think comedians, they do this. They know people. So they know, like, they have a science to what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you guys do, you guys are already like, I walk into a place and I feel like I'm being set up. You know, and so I try really hard not to laugh, but I can't do it because you got me figured out because you know I'm even going to try.
Yeah.
You know, so what's the science? What are you doing behind the curtain to create the content?
Well, he knows much more than I do, but
I don't know much about this.
I will just say what I've learned is that first off, you gotta know your audience as well. So you know, Dave Chappelle has a very specific audience, and then you look outside of the audience, and then there's people that are not in his core audience, and they still love him, but you still have a strong core. So it's like Kathy Griffin did not do good in clubs when she started out, so she went to laundry places in New York, and then that's where she found her audience, and she grew from there. And so it's just a matter of finding your audience. And so obviously we do churches and everything like that, so that's more the audience. But then when I do clubs, you're just, when you go in somewhere, you got to learn what it is that they want to hear. And sometimes, depending on the audience, they want more, like, this is in my opinion, but I feel like they want more one-liners. You'll go to an audience and you're like, these guys are not laughing at the stories, so then you just go quicker jokes. And then other times it's like, hey, they want more observational. So sometimes you just switch it.
And you can change like that on the fly. Go one-liners to story and back. And...
yeah, I feel like I can. Yeah.
Wow.
Based on sometimes you're still doing the same jokes, or I don't know. Honestly, I started when I got into comedy. I got obsessed. My first year I did 200 shows. Wow. And I use that loosely. I walked into Taco Bell's and said, I need to tell jokes. We only had one comedy club, and they would only let me up on Wednesdays. So I was like, well, Mondays and all the rest of the days, I'm going somewhere. So I'd go up to Taco Bell's and McDonald's and walk in while they're eating and just be like, I'm going to, let me tell you jokes. And they'd be like, okay. And then I would just start doing jokes.
Wow.
And so I wrote, I woke up every day for years and I wrote jokes. I would write 5 jokes a day and just wrote them. And I have like hundreds of probably thousands of jokes now just in notebooks over in Ohio at my parents' house.
Wow.
And so for me, I feel like I created, they're not all good.
Yeah.
90% of them are terrible.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've created a little bit of an arsenal to maybe use if I need to change something up.
Yeah.
That's really good. So when you're going through your process, are you starting off with a narrative in mind, or are you just kind of starting off like just some one-liners? I just want to get some things out.
When I'm starting to write, or yes,
Uh-huh.
it's usually one-liners or it's funny concepts where I was walking down the road, I saw something.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there will be crazy things that happen, and I'll write a story, but that story is going to be filled with one-liners,
Right.
or short jokes, not necessarily one-liners, but short jokes.
Right.
It seems to me that one of the really crucial key things, presupposition that underlies all humor, is a fundamental grasp of reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't have objective truth, if you don't have the world right side up,
right,
you can't see the falls.
Yeah.
You can't see the fails. You can't see the slip ups. You can't see the oddities.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is why the way our world, our culture is going. I mean, it's sort of like it's in some ways driving comedians out of business. It's sort of a joke that
now you can read the news headlines.
Is that Babylon B or is that Fox? Is that The Onion or is that CNN? I don't know. I better go check because it's getting that crazy. But that's what so relativism and postmodernism, all this attempt to completely undermine a notion of fundamental objective truth, is ultimately taking away laughter. It's actually stealing our laughter.
That's good.
Because if everything is off kilter, if nothing is on kilter, so to speak, if nothing is straight up and down, then you can't. I mean, when you point out something's off, you might be offending somebody now because that's their on. That's their fundamental truth is this, and so I think humor is subversive in that way, where you are assuming objective truth. You're saying this is the way
absolutely.
And this is back to your point. This is what human nature is. This is what people are like. I know what you're like. I mean, you walk into the room, you walk into the club, and you say, I know what people are like. I know human nature. I know the way God made the world. Now let me mess with your hair.
Preach up. That's real.
Yeah. That's so true, though, because, you could laugh 10 years ago at the bathroom policy thing.
Yeah.
And now if you come on stage and say, people are like, well, no, that's offensive. You can't say that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you end up in the wrong bathroom, and that's his joke, and now it's like, no, it's law.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like now you're laughing at somebody's fundamental reality, and in some ways, I think we shouldn't stop laughing at those things.
No, we have to.
I think in some ways
it becomes even funnier.
Right,
to the right audience.
Exactly. Right. And I mean, that's what God does. I mean, Psalm 2 says that when the nations rage and they imagine vain things, God sits in heaven and laughs.
He laughs at them.
And Christians
holds
need to
them in derision.
Yeah. And Christians need to laugh at the folly too.
Yeah,
you have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that talking about knowing your audience, as you were saying, as you guys are out there and you're seeing Christians laugh at certain jokes. I'm sure both your audiences are pretty vast. You say you go to clubs. I know that you do everybody.
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, not Taco Bell's.
Yeah.
No. I want to do
that's a whole nother level right
we'll
there.
do it together. Let's do it today.
That's like parkour comedy right there.
Yeah, I've thought about filming it before, and I was like, I don't know, is this weird? So I just
it's
don't.
A little weird.
But these days, what is weird? So you probably could.
That's true.
But looking
just
at the
create your own reality.
Looking at the Christian audience, what I know as a filmmaker is that Christians will watch certain Christian films only if they have a certain amount of gospel, a certain amount of Jesus per minute, what I like to call JPM, in the film. And then if it doesn't have that in there, then all of a sudden they're not like, I don't know, it really wasn't that good. But they all have their Civil War tickets to Avengers or, you name it, the
Black
next
Panther.
Black Panther. Yeah. They'll go there and be like, that was the most amazing movie I saw. Was there any Jesus in it? No. It was a whole bunch of false idols. But it was good action, know? So what are some areas that you see in comedy where Christians need to mature a little bit when it comes to grasping jokes?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
There's a lot of places. I had a coffee meeting with one of my favorite Christian comics, and he and I were sitting down, and I just asked him, I said...
It was just last night with me.
No, it was... he kept saying the word "mon" at the end of it.
Poor Toby.
I was like, why do you keep saying "mon" at the end of our conversation?
It's not funny, man.
Yeah. just give it a rest, okay?
Old.
And then, never mind. So anyway, I was talking to him and I asked him how edgy he gets, and he's like, well, when you're at churches, you don't get too edgy. And by edgy, what I mean is just not being afraid of just talking about things that are real. Like you said, I mean, when there's things going on in life, it's like, why are we going to ignore it? If people are struggling in certain areas, why are we not going to talk about it? It's a great place to tell a joke, maybe.
Right.
And so he goes, well, because everybody's like legalizing weed and stuff, he's like, I have a couple jokes on marijuana. I said, you should do it. Because he was going to perform that night. And he's like, really? And I said, no, do it. Trust me. And he performed. Thankfully, I don't know if it was because of me or what, but he did it, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, some people were nervous about it, and they didn't know if they could laugh, and then other people were just laughing really hard. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's cool. So I thought that was
Ben,
awesome.
what about you? Same question.
Oh, just the term Christian comics. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be like, you don't have Christian painters paint
Well,
your house.
Christian
comedians
Christian pizza
who happen to be Christians.
Yeah.
Right. How about Christian podcasts?
That's okay. I like that. You can't escape that one. Well, you're doing it. No, but you're doing a podcast the same way as anyone does a podcast, but it's about about Jesus.
Well,
and it's the same with me. That's my focus. So my comedy's going to be different as a result of having Christ as the center of my life. So
what are some of the ways? I like David's question. What are some ways you see that maybe Christian comics and Christian audiences need to grow or mature?
Yeah.
In terms of, in a certain sense, what they're willing to laugh at, you can almost take a certain kind of spiritual pulse of an audience or a congregation, so to speak, and you might have a better pastoral take on them in some ways than their own pastors would have, based on what they're willing to laugh at or what they would be offended by.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you see any patterns in your work where you say, this is an area we need to grow in?
I don't know. Sometimes it's for me, it's like there's certain little things I've said that have been really ultra conservative places, and I've thought, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or not. And I don't find it that bad, but I'm always trying to read the audience.
Yeah.
I usually it's more from being politically incorrect.
Yeah,
and that's just any audience, whether it's a Christian audience or not. Because I do a lot of accents.
Yeah.
Where I live in Melbourne, there's 1 in every 3rd person's Vietnamese.
Okay.
So chances are if I have any more children, they'll turn out Vietnamese.
I saw
you saw that coming.
And then I saw you're kind of like, I don't know if I could. Okay, wait, let me calculate this. What's it going to be? What's the cost?
No, but I don't care about that sort of thing because it's like as an impersonator, I'm impersonating what I see, whether it's people on TV or people I meet at the gym. There's a guy at my gym who. The Vietnamese, he talk like that all the time, he say this all the time. That's how they talk.
I just wanted to order Chinese food. All of a sudden, sorry,
Vietnamese.
That's so racist.
That's racist. Vietnamese.
I still want some actually.
I do too. You can't even say Chinese these days. It's of Asian appearance.
Oh,
that's how they say
it. Is that right?
I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
America's Most Wanted. They say we're looking for a man of Asian appearance because they don't want to offend Chinese.
Oh my gracious!
Man, Great Wall of Asian
That's
appearance.
So bad.
Well, so the big thing though is comedians. We are envelope pushers. I mean, that's one of the things that comedians have done in the history of stand-up comedy. When you see that that it happened in early America, all the comedians just started pushing the envelope. I mean, the guy who did the first stand-up comedy, he was in what's that type of theater? I forget what it was. Basically,
vaudeville.
He was in vaudeville. And so he was just supposed to do his bit where like he throws a pie in his face and everybody laughs. And he goes, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. And he walks up on stage and just starts talking about his day. And everybody goes, what is this? And like it was the first time stand-up happened.
Yeah.
And so then you read about, people like Lenny Bruce that said, hey, I'm told that the amendments, the First Amendment gives me the right to free speech. He's like, I'm going to get up on stage and say stuff. And he was
pretty foul though.
Oh, he was super foul.
But he was a trailblazer
yes.
because people back then were getting arrested for even saying stuff on stage.
Yeah, but his goal was he wanted to say something for a purpose.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to just get up and say crazy stuff. He said stuff just to see if he could say it on stage, and then he'd get arrested so many times. Now, unfortunately, everybody has taken what he kind of trailblazed, and they just get up on stage and say disgusting stuff for no purpose. They're not glorifying God in any way. They're they're just there for themselves, and it's sick.
But we've gotten to the point though where the thought police are coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, like,
you guys are
coming back
first.
I mean,
comedians are going to get
the
first.
thought police are coming,
sure.
and I think now when you make when you're just laughing, not in a perverse or a nasty way, but when you're laughing at just the color of the world, the shape of the world, the the textures of the world, the way that people are funny or whatever, they're coming for us as that's hate speech, that's politically incorrect. And so on. And it does seem to me like a really a very important place for Christian comedians to actually push back.
Yes.
And say, no, we're not going to give you this territory. No, we're going to keep laughing about the goodness of God and the beauty of his world. And I keep hitting my mic. Sorry, Chuck. Chuck is like flinching. But
hit it again.
Not funny. Not funny.
Hit it again.
But but I think it's important actually that I mean Christians have to stand up for truth wherever they are and whatever arena they're in. They've got to tell the truth and not be cowed by the forces of secularism and those who hate God. And you actually haven't. I mean, your job is to stand up, make people laugh, and I think you have an opportunity to push the envelope in the right way.
Yeah,
in a really glorious way. And when they come for you, say, "I'm a comedian."
Yeah.
Like
it's an escape.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, of course, it's based on truth.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that in the next segment too. Like people like Kathy Griffin, who says something crazy and then gets taken down, do you defend her in one sense or another because you don't want them coming for you? So that as we go into
good question.
Before we come back, I want to know, you know, what do you do? Because right now we kind of have the same thing with politics in California. It's like they're exercising states' rights.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that? So think about that amongst yourself.
Yeah, and we want that answer in about 6 different voices
Yes.
from Ben. Okay, so just start working on that.
More cross politic when we come back.
Really, at the end of the day, we want our kids to have an amazing education, but we are sending our children into this world, and we want our kids to be able to stand toe-to-toe with this world and be able to defend their faith. CC really, really, really helps you to get that foundation. I love that they are getting, they have a safe place to explore their faith, and that biblical worldview is being reinforced. What we're doing at home is what's happening in the classroom. How important is it to you to be involved in your child's education? How important is it to you to instill your values in your child? How important is it to you to be a part of something that's a little bit bigger than you? How important is it to you to have your child be a part of something that's just a little bit bigger than them? Everything that I wanted for my children's education, every question I asked, Classical Conversations was the answer.
Well, Cross Politic has a new sponsor. Who, you might be asking? Decree Design. Decree Design is a graphic design and web development company that serves your business by helping you speak clearly through visual representation. Serving 90+ businesses in logo design, print design, brand strategy, web development, and more. Decree Design has a skill and personal touch to customize a package specifically catered to your needs of your business, great or small, and provide personal assistance every step of the way. Whether you're a well-established real estate broker or entrepreneur getting your business off the ground, Decree Design will help your company's visual presence speak clarity and truth. For more information, please visit decreedesign.co or schedule a consultation with Joe at decreedesign.com. Yeah, Joe at decreedesign.com. Hey, and tell them Cross Politics sent you.
Get that smirk off your face.
You just don't interrupt the song when it comes on. That's
Everything is recorded.
I know, that's true. Especially in David's studio.
Yeah. That's why you've always got to wear makeup.
You watch it, buddy.
Oh,
man cream. Man cream.
It's a moisturizer.
Man cream itself. This is delicious.
Welcome back to Cross Politic. With us in the studio today, we got Ben Price. He's a comedian from the land down under.
Yeah.
Thank you for not doing an accent on that. I appreciate that.
That's hard. That's hard not to do.
Trying to teach us how to speak Australian.
That's some self-control. Because we're from the land up over.
No. I'm not going to laugh. Notice I didn't laugh.
Thank you.
And Chris Wineland. I'm not going to be able to say your name anymore.
It's Wineland Mon.
Wineland. Okay. And
rub it off.
Oh, look. Oh,
the
come
coffee
on.
died laughing. It just fell
Which
out.
reminds us, go to our website, order some Cross Politic coffee,
and join.
Yeah,
be a member.
and join our club.
Become a member.
Hey, you got to. Can you plug our club membership in a voice? Give us
in a voice.
plug.
Give us a voice.
Yeah. A voice. How about Sylvester Stallone?
Well, you got to become a member, right? You know, like Cross Politic, makes me think of like a jab and a cross, but like politic, I don't get into politics, but I was telling you this.
This is actually a true story.
Keep going,
This is a true story.
Don't get out of character.
No, I have to become Donald Trump for a moment because, listen,
Donald Trump wanted Stallone, I was telling you this, to be his arts minister. That's a true story.
What?
It was like a little article. You can Google it.
but
And Stallone's
I'm
like, I'm not
really
gay.
honored, but I'd love to be like, I would love to be a like military leader or something like that. Whatever.
So good.
Why the arts? Why the arts?
Why the arts? Yeah, well, it's very artistic, Rocky IV. A lot of good moves in there. It was like choreographed.
That is so good.
I loved Creed.
Creed.
Oh, Creed.
Yeah.
Could you have so I can have this later so we can use the recording? Can you have Donald Trump plug Cross Politic?
What would you like me to plug? Cross Politic. We are making podcasts great again. Cross Politic. It's real news. It's not fake. I love it. And the coffee is really good, too.
Hey, Donald, tell him the club membership.
Club membership. Get on the club membership. It's All you got to do, what do you got to do? I have no idea.
Go to crosspolitic.com.
Crosspolitic.com. There it is.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's good, man.
All right, I can do this all day. I'm not going to. I got about 7 more voices that I need to.
Bring it on.
I'm going to need you to call my mom later as Trump. It'd be fantastic.
We would have to record that because I love to hear her freak out.
That is awesome.
All right, Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam, what was the premise again? I've totally forgotten.
We're just talking about how much Samuel loves Cross Politics.
Yep.
Well, I love Cross Politic. That's one of the greatest places because they got black coffee. So I just offended coffee drinkers.
Don't do that.
And maybe Samuel Jackson.
How about Antonio Banderas?
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
man.
Puss in Boots.
I do Puss in Boots.
Okay, Puss in Boots.
I do it like that voice for my wife most nights.
We don't need to hear about it.
I say, you are a beautiful girl. I love to scratch my clothes down your back like Puss in Boots.
And then, sometimes I'll be trying to think of some of the other voices I'll do for her, like Sean Connery, yes. You can't say the letter S. Sean Connery, yes. Yes. A book hit my head this morning. I can only blame myself.
That's also Bane, right?
Say hi to your mother for me.
Yes.
Could you have Ray Comfort?
Bane.
That's close to Bane.
Bane and Darth Vader combined. That's another one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Bane. Yes. One of those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have Ray
You got
Comfort.
a lot of voices.
Oh, Ray
in
Comfort.
your head.
Ray Comfort
Yes,
plug
do
Cross
Ray.
Politics.
Yes,
Yeah, I
that's
do
good.
Ray Comfort. Ray Comfort's one of those guys who asks people the good person test, and I'm here with a celebrity. Who else can I?
How about Todd? Can you do Todd?
Todd Frail, welcome to Ratchet, and it's great to be here on another podcast, working with my good friend here.
Wow, that's really good.
Todd was in Audacity.
Yeah. You guys worked together in that, right?
Yeah, for about 3 seconds. It was amazing.
It was really tight.
Really quick. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay, so before we ended the break, I asked you guys, what are you willing to fight for? So you see somebody like Kathy Griffin who takes it too far.
Oh, yeah.
So then I want to ask you about that too, about what's too far in comedy, because since you're always pushing, what's too far? But somebody like Kathy Griffin, do you stand up for her and say, guys, back off? She's a comedian. She has the right to free speech. Let her tell her jokes. Judge the jokes, but don't try and come after her like you don't want to be. You tell her.
And you're talking about the deal with like having the head of
Donald Trump.
I'm talking about she's been crazy way before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but that's
Probably
what
nothing
her.
compared to what she
No,
does.
she's been crazy. I mean, Kathy's been crazy. The Donald Trump thing wasn't even an issue for me so much. It was like she's been like this, guys. You just now seeing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this is y'all's fault. Y'all been paying her way before now.
Yeah.
So do you come to her defense as a Christian and say, look, I don't agree with her or what she's saying, but I think that we need to respect her ability to have her own free speech. You're laughing,
right? No. I'm smiling a little bit because I think that's a really crazy question. Because I don't like. So I'm working on a book right now that's kind of about how comedians are kind of supposed to act and how we're supposed to push the envelope, and mainly. I think when it comes to Christian comics, I think that's where we need to kind of rise up, because I think that there's a lot of Christian comics that we're just playing it too safe and we're not talking about certain things. But then you go into secular comedians and some of them are trying to push the envelope. But the question I would ask her is like, what was she trying to do there? Was she trying to like push the envelope, or was she just doing something because she thought it was funny? And I think the thing is
why is
that
that distinction?
Why does it matter?
Yeah, because if she thinks it's funny, then what?
She could still do it.
Yeah. So, but if she's trying to push the envelope, there's a different answer for that.
Yeah. I think that I'm.
You're asking like, to what end are you pushing the envelope?
Right.
So like,
what's the purpose?
What's the teleology of this?
Yeah.
I'm going to use a big word, teleology.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm definitely not against her trying to do something, or any comedian trying to do something. But my question is, like, what is the mindset behind it? Because sometimes they're just aimlessly doing something to turn heads. And it's like, at that point, what are you achieving? And also, why didn't she look at history? Because the Dixie Chicks got completely, their career was ruined because they said bad stuff about President Bush.
No, because they profaned Texas. That's what
Why
happened.
you just let them?
All right.
And here's the tea.
My Texan people were smashing their CDs when that happened.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
But personally, no, I'm not against that, because if they shut one comic down for something, then it's just they're coming for everybody at that point. Somebody in Canada, comedian in Canada, already got sued 2 years ago.
No way.
Yeah, most comedians now are getting insurance. In case they say something offensive, the insurance will pay for it. No lie.
Insurance, Ben?
Goodness.
I do public liability, but not for that.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like a free speech insurance almost, right?
I guess
That's insane.
Yeah.
So why do Christians need to push the envelope, and what would that look like?
So at the end of the day, so the biggest thing is when you read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you see Jesus really doing some crazy things that push the envelope. But obviously, he's doing it for a purpose. He's doing it for the glory of God, right? And so everything he's doing, it leads to salvation and everything.
Has
so
a purpose. Has an end.
It has a huge purpose.
Yeah.
But us Christians, we've gotten to this place where we think like, oh, is it okay if I get up on stage? So I have my last comedy special, and there was a couple streaming services that were interested in buying it, purchasing it, and one streaming service, which was they turned me down because they said that I said the word pantyhose, and they felt like it would be offensive to the audience.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, I think that there's a big difference between kind of the things that Jesus did and the things that we're doing now.
Yeah.
And so my point is, as long as you're doing it to the glory of God, go up and talk about it. And so I have a joke, and I'm not going to say it, but I have a joke about how I used to be addicted to I used to have a porn addiction. And the joke is honest, and it's funny, and it's great, but most churches won't let me perform it, and I totally get that. But I'm not going to throw it away, because I've told it a couple times, and people have come up and went, dude, I have an addiction, and I need help. And so it's like, imagine the mind-blowing of you saying a joke and then also relating it to God and to the freedom that I got through everything.
So what's going too far look like, though, too? Because I think that's what most Christians are scared of, is like, I prefer not to engage in sinful activity on accident.
Right. Then I would say you need to read the Word of God and get to know the character of what a Christian is.
Right. 'Cause we're not saying that like you can go out and make foul stuff and say, to God be the glory.
No, never.
That's not what we're
Never.
saying at all. But I think you're right. I mean, you read through the Gospels, and what Jesus is doing, I mean, he's constantly exposing us. He's exposing us, and he often does it through mockery and sarcasm.
Yes.
You swallow camels and you strain out gnats. Picture that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, you go out
Ezekiel, he's telling him to eat bread off of dung, right?
Jesus says, you go out on the street corner and you blow a trumpet because you're about to say a prayer.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk around in your robes and all this stuff and whitewashed tombs and this kind of thing.
Yeah. Children of the devil.
Right.
I mean, that's a crazy thing. Imagine saying that to somebody.
He's not just popping off to pop off, though.
Yeah. No.
He's mocking and making fun because he's drawing attention to real problems, real sin.
And he has the solution.
And he has the solution.
And Christian comedians have the solution as Jesus.
Yeah.
And so if any comedian should be edgy, it should be the Christian comics.
Man,
because we have a solution.
And I want to add to that. One of the first questions that we ask in this is, okay, who's our first audience? It's God, right?
Yeah.
That which, and we like, this is the basic definition of all art, is that which pleases God.
Yeah. Amen.
Right. Yep. Comedy.
And we know the Bible,
painting.
the entirety of it, Genesis to Revelation, is God's word.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so it
and that's what drives.
It reveals to us
God.
what God likes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you're talking about the prophets. I mean, those prophets are some crazy people.
Yeah.
Man.
Walking around naked for a year, laying on the ground on one side and laying siege to a little model city, cooking his, Ezekiel bread. There's this thing.
There is. I've had it. I was thinking that
called
when you said
Ezekiel
that.
bread.
No way.
But Ezekiel bread
What does it taste like?
Cooked on
over
dung.
Yeah, they don't cook it over dung. They just have the lentils and
They do everything but that.
all that in it.
It's dung flavored.
I see that. And it's hilarious.
And this is what we've talked about a lot.
I can't tell. I got nothing to compare it to.
I mean, but seriously, who wants Ezekiel bread?
I know, it's a curse.
It's good. It's really
but,
good.
but I mean, it's like a total marketing fail.
It's judgment bread. It's judgment bread.
Tells you how much we know our Bible. We're like, it's from the Bible.
It's Ezekiel bread.
Well, and here's one of the things that we've talked about from our show perspective and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish when we sign TV contracts and go that route. We don't want to get in a position where we can't even read certain Bible verses, which is where a lot of TV programs
there are
going.
some churches and some Christian, no, you can't say that, but it's in the Bible. No, you can't say that. No, but it's in the Bible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually coming to a place right now in California. It's not there yet with that bill that they passed. AB was it 2943? That is getting there.
You can't have literature or conferences that might encourage people who are tempted to homosexuality.
You can have literature, you just can't sell it. What they're after is the actual transaction of a sale because they consider it fraudulent practices. And I'm thinking to myself, Are there any psychic calls around there? Since we're after fraudulent practices, have all the psychic places shut down in California? Do they still do palm readings around there?
Yeah.
Why are you guys after this particular practice?
Right. How about it's true? How about all the gambling casinos?
Yeah, exactly. You know, betting on games, fraudulent practices. Oh, you guys care about fraudulent practices? Right. That's half of your government money.
Yeah.
You talking about get rid of taxes and we'll start talking about fraudulent practices.
Preach it.
Okay,
Where's that?
All right, yeah.
There we go.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to hear Ben's answer.
Yeah.
Similar line of questioning. What do you make of some of the extreme Kathy?
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, we're really paying out on her.
She's like,
how do you respond to that? How do you think of that, especially in light of your calling as a Christian comedian to push the limits in certain ways, but obviously in biblical ways, not in just grotesque or crass ways?
Yeah. Well, obviously I would not agree with what she's doing, but she's entitled to it, so I'm not going to stop her from doing it. If I want to stop her from doing it, I'll share the gospel with her. It's simple as that. Yeah. So rather than trying to go, it's like when people try to say, people who are having abortions, stop doing that. Well, you got to show them the reason why. Give them the gospel and say it's because of this. It's morally wrong against holy God. So it's the same sort of thing. But I'm not going to try and do the same thing to get her.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind if people do ring up to complain because it can be unsuitable if it's aired on television, that kind of thing. But I'd rather go at it at a different angle because you don't want them taking away your freedoms as well.
Right. The same. If she gets fined, if she gets penalized, that same thing can be used against you.
Yeah. Probably will because there's hypocrisy everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a conundrum because at one point you see a Muslim who you don't want proclaiming their gospel.
Yeah.
But when you see them being shut down instead of being able to be engaged, you're kind of like, hold on, wait, I'm not on his team, but I don't want you to arrest him for proclaiming what he believes right now. Unless we're under a Christian nation, then we can talk about that. But right now, until then, I'll talk to him. You kind of want to have a different way of engaging. So, because right now there's a lynch mob. There's no trials anymore.
No.
It's a public lynch mob. And you kind of want to be able to say no to the mob because one day they're going to come after you.
Right. Yeah.
Yet you had this conundrum because in one way or another, that person is really not your friend and they're really your enemy. You're engaged in warfare against them.
Yeah.
But there's like a gauge to war. Like you don't want the war to be fought like that.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, look, I don't have a problem with you doing what you want to do, but don't fight it like this. And I feel like Christians need to be the ones saying, look, that's not fair warfare.
Yeah.
So in one way or another, it's like, how do we have that ability to condemn what they do and then yet at the same time don't let the lynch mob do what they do and say, you can't do that. And you're kind of stuck in the middle. But I think it's better for us as Christians to figure out ways to do.
It's really the same issue for all of us.
That's what I'm
every
saying.
Single calling.
It doesn't matter what it is.
What we're interested in is biblical justice, which is fair for all people.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's the same rule. We don't have different weights and measures, and it's the same law, and it stays the same. Lying is lying is lying.
Yeah.
Stealing is stealing is stealing. Adultery is adultery is adultery.
Exactly.
So in that sense, it's good for the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's better for everybody in one way or another.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we had King Julian actually on the show today.
You didn't tell me.
I
was so excited. It's so much fun.
That's great.
And Tom Cruise as well.
Tom Cruise is here?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is here. Help me. Help you. Sign up for membership. Show them the money. I'm so excited.
Hey, Tom, could you tell us where to...
It's the coffee, man.
Yeah.
Tom, could you tell us where to go and check out Ben Price?
Tell you where to go?
Yeah.
You want me to tell you where to go?
Tell us where to find more content for Ben Price.
Right. Yeah. BenPriceComedy.com.
BenPriceComedy.com.
That sound clear enough? That's the one.
Tom, when are you going to repent and trust in Jesus?
I got to talk to Lord Zeno about that. It's not one of the.
You're going with it. That's good.
I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Well, I got to look at the camera for this because Robert De Niro. It's all about the face, right? So
that one right there.
It's that one right there. Right there. I'm talking to you. Listen to me. Okay. It's like you got to suck a lemon, something really, one of those warhead lollies. You have those over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You suck them, they're really sour. It's like, you got that face right there. It just happens. You know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is very scary. just need the malt.
Toby's over here. He's got a list of names.
Matthew McConaughey.
All right. It's so good to be here with my friend from Texas here.
Amen. Amen. All right.
I think the listener knew I was coming in because he brought the wild turkey.
Hey, Matt, you got one of those Cross Politic memberships?
I got one. Yeah, I do. I got a lifetime.
He's got 5 of them.
I got a lifetime membership.
What about Gru?
It comes with Lincoln. Oh, Gru from Despicable Me. Yes, is one of these. I do this voice for my children every night. I talk them into bed, read them bedtime stories. Good night, little minions. Yes.
I do that for my little girl every night. She's 17. She loves
Your
it.
house is a
I'm kidding. She doesn't like it.
She's like, Daddy,
stop it.
Chris,
where can we find out about you?
I can't do any of those. Oh,
your turn. We want jokes now.
Yeah.
3 jokes. Go.
What's your website?
ChrisWineland.com. It's Wineland. Drink too much wine, you land on the ground. .com.
Yeah.
Boom. Joke 1. No, I'm just kidding.
I take it. I'm counting.
Okay. And then you're writing this book.
I am. I'm writing the book. I don't know when it's done yet, so we'll see.
Do you have a title for it yet?
I do, but if I say it, will people take it? How does that work? I don't know. It's called The Great Heckle is what it's called.
Oh, that's a great title.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Now
So
it's printed.
Be looking for it.
Oh, yeah.
Be looking for it.
Yeah. Looking for it soon.
You have to write faster now.
Yeah. Oh,
So
man.
nobody
I got to
takes it.
finish it
Do you
this
get
week.
heckled a lot?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But anytime I do, thankfully God's blessed me to be able to roast people.
Yeah.
So anytime I do,
You've got to come back.
I hit them, and I'm nobody sees it coming.
Yeah.
So I did one guy. He started interrupting me, and I was like, "Hey, hold on, sir. I know you've only passed 4th grade, but like you raise your hand if you have a question." and the whole audience laughed, and afterwards, my friends were like, we need to get you out of here, because he was a big guy and I didn't know. And so they helped me get out as quick as I could.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty rough churches out there.
Yeah, that was a church. So
That was the pastor. That was the pastor of the church.
yeah.
Now, Chris, you also write for Next Week with Jeff Durbin.
I am,
Yes.
I'm the head writer of a Christian late night show called Next Week with Jeff Durbin.
That's right.
We're the only Christian late night show that exists, and we're doing some stuff that we've gotten heckled before. So.
But that wasn't your first writing gig. You've been writing.
Correct. Yeah. I've always had an obsession for late night. So I used to. I wrote for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon as a facts writer. So I was a monologue writer, basically writing the jokes. And then I wrote a pilot for Brad Stein. And I've just done all sorts of different writing projects, lots of different comedy shows and everything like that.
All right, one more joke. Hit it.
Oh boy. God, I don't know.
Oh man,
you put him on the spot.
Oh,
you need a premise.
Can I tell you a joke that almost got me punched?
Yeah. I'm
okay.
interested. Yeah, tell me about it.
So my friend told me to change a joke, and so the joke was I went to this club, and the joke is, so I'm a Christian, and I know everybody just said the same things that. I said everybody just had the same reaction that my black friends do. When they walk into a room. Everybody gets nervous and hides their wallets. And now that was not my joke that I wanted to say. That was not, no, hold on. Yes. So listen, that was not the joke I wanted to say. The joke was my friend. What was that? I didn't hear that.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done. No, listen, that was not the joke I wanted to say. So, but my friend was like, I'm telling you, it's going to be great. He was like in charge of the club and he was like, you got to tell that, you got to change it to that. Yeah. And I was like, no, it's just my weird friend. And he's like, no, you got to change it to black friend. I said, I don't think so. And I got up on stage and said it. And this one guy goes, what does that mean? and this was in 2012, I think. And I didn't know what to say. And I know that this guy mentioned something earlier. So I said the same thing he mentioned earlier, this guy in the audience. I said, Obamacare. And he went, yeah. And then I won the crowd. It was this craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And I got off stage and went to my friend. I said, I will never listen to a thing you tell me ever again.
Your friend did not love you.
He planted something in your head subconsciously.
I know. He's terrible.
Well, hey, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man.
Check out their websites.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's next. Until next week, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Cross Politic. That's great.